So the beginning sketching in stuff is not recorded, but you'll be able to go back and fill it. Okay.
All right. Bye, Carrie.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.
I might be back.
So she's the sister of my neighbor Ann, who lives down the street, and Ducky is Ann's dog, who she'll be leaving. Hello, it's Marcia, right? Connecting to audio. Yes. Okay. So I've got some darker red. Oh, and we need, let's see if I can turn you on. I'll ask you to Goulet, ask you to unmute yourself if you want to. And Sue, you're muted, but I think you probably know that. Do you know you're muted? Okay. All right, so I'm filling in some of the darker parts in the pinks. And I'm using a little bit of purple. There's a little bit of purple to do that. I am leaving out these tall lantanas that are sticking up above the zinnias. I'm just going to leave them out. You all are more than welcome to put them in. They just kind of don't work for me. So they're a little bit too obtrusive. Okay. So now I'm going to put a darker center. I'm going to make the center of this, at least for now, I'm going to make the center of this yellow flower, I'm going to make it pink, because why not? Might change that. Probably make it some, I'll make it a little purple at the bottom. And then this guy, I got him too low, didn't I? Got him lower than I want. All right, well, this guy's going to come over. This guy, it's a little bit in the shade. He's going to come over a little. And then this flower needs to go up a little bit. So, okay. So, and you can just really rough them in. And any of you who have better ideas or a different way of doing it, please feel free to speak up at any time in this. Okay, I'm putting gonna get some of the greenery in here. All right, now one of the reasons
Sorry,
I
that's
chose
my tone. That's how I know it's her.
this picture is because of these. You see how the stems they come in there, and then under the break and under the water line, they're over like a 1/4 of an inch. Here you don't even see the upper stems on this one, but you see the lower stems. And same here, you see the lower stem, and then it devolves into this green thing down there. So this is interesting to me, and that's one of the reasons I chose this painting. There's Carol Wool. Yay! Hey, Carol Wool. So I'm gonna just block in some of that greenery now. Carol Wool's audio is off, so I'm going to ask to unmute. Yay. Hey, hi Carol Wool. How are you?
Hi, Carrie. Great. How are
Hi.
you?
Good. And look, we have friends that we can see here. Isn't it great?
I'm so happy.
Yes, it's
I'm sorry I'm late.
It's okay. You'll be punished next week.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to come here and gesso canvases black for me.
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I know you would. My friend Carol is here. And,
hi, Carol.
Hi. She would like to be off camera.
Yes.
Okay.
I know that feeling.
So this this dark stuff up here, I'm doing some green with some purple,
Great.
and just putting that in there. And then, okay, so let's set that water line. I'm gonna set it right about here. I'm setting it a little higher than it is. My vase is a little stockier than the vase in the picture. So, all right, so here comes this stem, and a pretty dark green and purple stem. And then I'm going to take a lighter green or mix some white with that green and the rest of the stem there. And I'll have to join them up eventually. Marcia or Sue, do you know a good way to join them up? Or anybody?
On my head.
Then there's this green one over here. And we've got some others coming down here. Can you all hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, good.
I can hear you.
Okay, good, because I do have a microphone and I forgot to try it. This line, that's what I was looking at before. See this line here? This is a very cool line that the light is making on the top of that water. And so how to put that in? Water is a little brown. It's a little sort of yellowish there. No. In fact, the whole surface is light. It's a little. It must be it's the table. It's the wood of the table reflecting through it. So, I mean, shining through it. So I'm going to take a little bit of brown and a little bit of white and make this surface. And I'm just going to put that line in. Here's the surface, goes around like that. Could do it with a little bit of yellow too if you wanted to. I guess this does mean we've got a brown table there, but that's probably okay. Try, yeah, do your strokes down like that. So that's a little bit too brown. Lighten that up a bit. Right. And then there's little bits of green. And here's some green, I don't know, leaf or something. Something down in that water. Got green coming there. And then there's a bunch more green pieces we can put in down here. Little bit of bright white right there on the surface. Water, it's just like the water on, on the lake or on a stream, which we've done. Now there's also this, this is one of these, it's probably a bell jar. So there's that circle in it. Do you all know what I mean by that?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
Like the logo?
the logo, yeah. See the glass? Can you see the?
So it's impressed into the glass.
Yeah, and it's picking up a little bit of light where it's the ridge of the logo.
Yeah.
It's picking up a little bit of light, and so I'm gonna put that in. Just a hint of it with some white. This right here would be a lot easier with a brush. I will tell you that. And then down here is a line of white. I'm not quite sure where that's coming from, but it's very cool and delicate. And then there are the ridges of the the screw tops, the screw things. So just take your knife or your brush and put those in. Go right over your stems. And don't fuss with this too much right now. I'm going to put this little bit of white down there. And then around the bottom, there's a sort of dark gray, purple, dark green, sort of one of those no color colors like that, which is purple, green, and white kind of mixed together. So I'm gonna put some of that in. Down there, and then we gotta continue our stems down over that now. There we go. And it's very dark right in the front, isn't it? The bottom part of that vase, that bell jar. It's very dark. Here we go. Okay. This needs to be more of a circle. There we go. Okay. Let's see, 121, stop, stretch for a minute, turn around, look at Carol Bainey. Hi, Carol Bainey. Stand up if you can. Oh, have a piece of sugar-free hard candy if you can. Why not? And mostly look away from your painting. Okay. Now we can paint some flowers. And you all might think the flowers are the fun part of this. I don't know. So I got some yellow, my cadmium yellow, mixed with a little bit of white. And I think I'm going to try a bigger knife for this. So here's the little knife I've been using. Here's the bigger knife I'm going to use. So I'm loading it up. And I'm going to want a little bit of orange in there. Stick some of these lovely, richly colored petals in there. Now this is a place where you really want to try hard not to muddy your colors, on the bright parts of the flower. So trying to be careful and not pick up other colors. There's a lovely crooked petal in there. Another one. And then this odd perspective. So this petal right here, you just got to paint it. It's going to look weird when you paint it, but when you step away from it, it's going to work. It's just it's the foreshortened, very foreshortened. And, you just want to paint what you see. Even if your brain tells you it's wrong, your eyes know it's right. I'm going to move to this. This yellow flower is mostly in shadow. So I'm going to mix a little bit of green in with my yellow. Might go back and brighten it up, but here's what I've got. That's very dull, greeny yellow. But when we mix some, when you hit on the edges of it, where the light is, it's going to be great. So there's my shadow part. Now I'm going to take some, you could take some lemon yellow if you have it, or take your cadmium and mix some white with it. So you have a bright light yellow. And add that onto the tips. The tips are just sticking up bright. You can smooth them out if you like. There's another weird perspective one. Another one. And I'm going to go back in with a little bit of light at there. Now, sometimes, just to make it interesting, you might be putting more brighter bright and darker dark than there really is. And that's okay, because you're making a painting. You're not making a photograph. They wanted a photograph. They wanted it exact. They could have it exact. And a little bit better line on the edge of that. There we go. Have any of you tried painting on with the black canvas?
No.
I usually do, but I ran out of black canvases.
Uh-huh.
So I'm painting on a white canvas, but I'm not. I think I like it better. I think I'm going to redo it on the black canvas.
On the black, yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
I've tried some white. Well, I just did a dog painting on white, and it kind of needs to be on white, but boy, did I miss that bounce that you get from the black.
Well,
Really
I came to painting from stained glass. So your black borders around your art always attracted me, appealed to me.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting. Did you ever see the mosaic paintings that I did a couple years ago?
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was at Sarah's house. I was at your studio with Sarah Henson, and
I had the mosaics then. Oh yeah, right, because she bought one. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. That's beautiful. I
Thanks.
bought your book and everything.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
I love it.
Well, thank you. Okay. So going into these pinkies a little bit more. Zinnias are great with a knife because the petals are, they're very knife-like. And I just think they're some of my favorite flowers, zinnias. They last forever. They're so happy. You leaving us? Bye, Carol. Yeah. Everybody say goodbye to Carol.
Bye, Carol.
Bye.
Hi.
Bye.
Had enough. She's a friend of mine from Pennsylvania, and she lives in State College, where she runs a big art show, Central Pennsylvania Festival of the Arts, which is really one of the country's great art shows. It's been going on for, I think this would have been its 60th or 61st year, and the COVID is the only thing that stopped it.
Wow.
Is that the one they did virtually?
Sorry?
I said, is that the one they did virtually?
Yes, yes, that was a big, yeah, they did a really good job with the virtual version of it. And they also put on a first night celebration, which also is going to be canceled this year. So they're trying to figure out right now what to do about that. And I think it's coming along. But yeah, so that virtual show is really terrific. And I'm doing another one next weekend, October 3rd. And is that next weekend? Is it possible that's October?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It sure is.
Wow. Yes, I'm doing the an occasion for the arts, which is a Williamsburg, Virginia, and I'm going to be doing that as their virtual show. Although I tell you what, I had better get busy because I don't have many paintings right now. So, which is a great problem to have, but it's still a problem. Okay.
Carrie, what colors are you using to get that vibrant pink for your zinnias?
So I have a couple pinks, and one is this PBO stuff. This stuff, which is really great. It's rose vivid pink, and you can get that at it's either Jerry's or Dick Blick online. I think Jerry's has it, but it's PEBEO.
Right.
But I've also been, I am out of alizarin crimson, and so I've been experimenting with some other pinks because I just keep forgetting to get it. And so one of these, let's see, is it this one? It's a primary magenta, but I don't think that's it. I think it's rose madder. Is that very
Rose
bright?
madder,
yeah, mixed with
Yeah.
a little bit of white, and it turns that great color. So this is the PBO Vivid Rose,
Mhm.
and this is the Rose Madder, and
Okay.
they come out when you mix the Rose Madder. All right, so here's a little bit of Rose Madder mixed with a little bit of white. And then here's the PBO, this upper one. And here is the Rose Madder mixed with a little bit of white. So they're a little different, but they're pretty close to the same color.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, so either one of those would work for you. And if all you've got is alizarin crimson, that you can make that work too. Yeah. I was
trying to do it with what do I have? I have Quin magenta.
Right.
Magenta.
Yeah, and that's, I've got a big tube of it over there, but in fact I think I have like 3 of them. They must have been on sale at some point. So but I don't really know how that works. How does it work for you?
It's not. I need something like a
neon
pink to I need something to brighten it up.
Yeah, so either one of those other ones would work, and I think that's why I stopped trying with and also I can't pronounce that, whatever that word is. Quinacridone. Yeah,
quinacridone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting the center, a little bit of dark center in there. Now, I made a big yellow mess all over here, but I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it. Where I sort of sketched in the yellows, and I mean, I could make another yellow flower there, or I could just leave it. Like for now, I'll just leave it. And I'm going to start on my vase, this vase. And I might or might not put the handle in. So this one is really great to do with a knife. That probably wants to be a little bit of a shadow. And I sort of love, the picking up the pink there. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of yellow for the bright facet. Oh no, that's absolutely backwards. That's wrong. I shouldn't say wrong, but that doesn't work for me. It's not what I wanted. That's better. But then that would have been okay. Might be okay for this next one. And then I'm going to do a very dark one for the little back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I'm going to have to. There we go. And the bowl, do we put the bowl in, the little bowl? Carol, what do you think? Little bowl or not?
Distracts.
What?
It distracts.
It's just, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, that the bowl is distracting. So I'll bring you
I'd
down.
rather look at the flowers.
Yeah. Thank you, Carol Ann.
You're welcome.
Anybody else want to chime in here?
I agree. I think you've got plenty there.
I think so too. And I don't think this is going to make it either. I could be wrong. The handle is not, I'm not dealing with that handle. The handle is just a total distraction. Well, Carol Ann, the tomato pickers painting sold.
Oh, congratulations. It's
Thanks.
such a good one.
Thanks.
That was a really good one. I like that a lot.
I did too, and it sold to one of my neighbors who bought it, and she has a lot of my really good paintings. So
Oh, she's a lucky
Yeah.
girl.
yes, she is, including several marsh paintings.
I may have to fight her for them. I have to come and visit you, that's all.
Definitely.
Liesl, Carrie?
Yes, Liesl. Yes. And although I think Liesl and Anne and Lexi might be splitting it and moving it from place to place. I kind of got that. At least Anne told Liesl that she loved it, and that was part of the decision to buy it, because they're putting a new kitchen in there, and Liesl had said, I'm not buying any more art until I get my kitchen paid for. Like, fine. But Lexi came over to pick up a painting that she had bought, and saw that one on the easel and just went nuts over it.
Oh, it's so good.
I mean, that's so great when that happens. Thanks. Okay.
I loved the lateral people that they were lined up on the same plane. I don't know, there's something very appealing about that to me.
Oh, thanks. And I'll bring it over. I'll bring you all around the studio when we're done here to I'll show you that painting and a couple other new ones. Okay. I'm going to put some. Now, we have created several problems for ourselves here, have we not? Cranky background spaces, for one. But we can deal with that. Right, Edie's?
You can.
You can too. I'll show you how to do it. One way to do it would have been, and this would be much easier if you were using acrylic. So I'm putting some yellow pollen things, stamens, whatever those things are, on the flowers. So a smarter person might have put the background in first, or at least some of it. But I don't really like to do that, partly because it's hard to do with oils, and partly because I kind of need to get to about here before I figure out what's going to be the background.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's my problem is I never know what I want for a background
right.
before I do everything else. I have to try to squeeze it in there.
Yes, exactly. And me, right. And me too. And, you know, in a way that's like good, because you're supposed to work on the paintings all at the same, you know, you're not really supposed to do this the way we're doing it. You're supposed to work on the whole thing at once.
A friend of mine said something that I think I'm going to put on the wall of my sewing room. Make visual decisions visually.
Yes, yes. Yes. I think I'll put that up in the studio, actually.
Oh, it would save me a lot of heartache, and it would give my brain a lot of space if I
Yeah,
stopped.
yes, wouldn't it? Yes. And it would also stop that awful should.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Liesel, who bought the painting, who is Austrian, so her native language is German. So she has an interesting accent, you know. I mean, she's been here for a long time, but she still has an accent. So she said to me one day while we were walking, she said that she didn't want to should herself. She said should, and it sounded like shoot. And it was just a really great, wonderful play on words. I don't want to should myself. So, okay. So I'm going to make the table brown, partly because I already put that brown in up there. Now let's see. Ooh, I think we have to make the table higher. Yeah, we do. We want the table to almost hit the the surface of the water so it can get that reflection. So, okay. So I'm going to take my table. It's a lovely thing to do, to have a path, to have pathways in your paintings. And they could be actual paths, you know, roads through your paintings, or they could be the rows and furrows in fields. Okay, let me interrupt myself for a minute here, a moment. For this message from the Rembrandt people, this paint, transparent orange oxide, is fabulous. It is stupidly expensive. This tube is $13, and this tube is $11. So in my world, this is stupidly expensive, but it's worth it. And I'll show you what it does. Do you all know about this paint?
No.
No.
It's like Indian yellow, but it's darker and better. So here's what it looks like in the tube, but look what it does.
Mm.
It's this amazing sort of semi-transparent, that's mixed with a little bit of lighter brown. It's just beautiful, beautiful wood. It has the luster, I think, of wood. And it's great for trees. It's great for dogs' eyes. It's great for tables. And it's the difference between that and this, which is just burnt sienna.
Mm.
It's remarkable. It's sort of the same color. I mean, doesn't it look kind of like the same color? But this stuff is just like dead. on the canvas compared to that other stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's worth the $13. So at any rate, pathways into your paintings can be actual paths or roads, or they could be colors that you drop like golden coins through your painting. A lot of times I'll use yellow to lead people into the painting and then through it and around it. Or they can be like, you can take your table and give it some perspective. I'm not going to finish this while we're doing this because it's my shoulder and the angle and all of that stuff. But I am going to get it in that vase for you, some of it. Probably going to have to go back over some of the lines that I made in the vase. I'm going to make the table stuff is a little bit lighter because when you're seeing through the water in the vase, because the water is somebody help me. What's the
Reflective.
Distorted? Translucent?
yeah, right. It's a see this color here and then that color there. You're looking through the water to see the wood of the table.
Mhm.
So it changes the tone, the color of the thing. It's like when you're
Filter?
yeah, it filters. Yes, that's good. That's an excellent word for it. Yeah, it's like when you're looking at the horizon, why the horizon is the color of the sky at the horizon is lighter or more white than the color of the sky directly above your head, because you're seeing through more molecules of water and it's taking some of the color out.
Mm.
I'm not saying I understand all this. It's just it's the explanation I've been offered and I am offering. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm just going in between the stems and the edges of this base, and I'm just filling in. I'm filling in the brown with a little lighter brown. So I'm going to go back and remember the white stripe that we had there. I'm going to put that in again. It's going to look even better. We could have put all of this white stuff in at the end. But I usually do it like this, really, even if I go back over it, because it helps me know where it's going to go. And we've got some shadows coming from these vases, so I'm going to start sketching them in a little.
Carrie,
Yes.
why would the brown be on the top of the jar, which doesn't have table behind it?
Because I screwed up. That's why. It's going to be whatever the, very good, whatever the background that we choose, it's going to be there. Very good. Thank you. And what is that background going to be?
Yeah, it looks like a wall and there's a painting on the back
It
wall.
is. What this actually actually is. It's a photograph I took of my mother and our dog Captain, and they were lying on the lawn facing each other. Yeah. But I don't want to make, I'm just tired. I don't want to make another brown. I don't want to make brown. So I don't know. Maybe we'll put some green. How would green be? Green. How about maybe an orange? Ooh. What do you think? Think orange would work? Back there? Maybe a
Try it.
lightish sort of orange. Let's see. Oh yeah. I think that would be nice. So these things will be orange.
Sorry, somebody's working on my front porch.
Okay. Yeah, I like the orange. Warm. Okay.
I'm having some work done and Fana wants to go supervise.
Excellent. Is she there with you?
Fana's here, yes.
Yeah.
He keeps running up to go to bed with John and then coming down to supervise the front porch work.
Oh, very good. What are you having done to the front porch?
I had some bluestone put on the surface, and that meant that the columns needed the skirting board replaced.
Uh-huh.
And that's way beyond me. So there's a neighborhood handyman.
Cool.
And he
Yeah.
told me my columns are not square, but he was able to miter everything, and now he's putting caulk, and then I can paint them. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, I found out this week that my floor joists are my house is way worse than I had thought, and the main load-bearing beams need to be replaced, and many joists, and possibly even the sill. So I am here for a while then, and I sort of feel like it's God saying,
Stay
"Stay
put."
there for now." Okay, I'll stay here for now. I'm gonna mix the little shadow in with a little bit of blue and okay, good. Ooh, I love the orange background. That might be my favorite part of this so far.
Fana, stop it.
Can we see him? Her? Him?
Sure. It's funny.
Oh, hello. Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Fano.
Donald. Hi.
There's my front porch, and see the new skirting board on the
Yeah.
columns? Yeah, and he's
Nice.
putting caulk on the seams so I can paint it. And Fana wants to be in charge.
Excellent.
And I can show everybody my carry corner there.
Oh, lovely.
She's got 2 paintings of the same marsh.
Oh, I know what I like.
All right, squeezing out some more orange. Anybody having problems or issues or questions with their painting?
No, I'm glad you're recording it
Yes,
because I'm going to redo it in black, up with a black
on
background.
the black, yeah. And you can get the pictures for these are always on the event invite thing. Right? Or
Yeah.
if you want bigger pictures, any of you ever want bigger pictures, I'll, just send me an email and I'll email them to you.
I tend to copy them and print them out.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a great thing to do.
Easier
Although
to send it a handy reference.
yeah, if you have them on your computer, they're often brighter than the printout. And you can fiddle with the light on it. Okay. Marcia, you're not painting? Splashing? Okay. There we go. There we go. Got nice peachy. So Carol, who is not a painter, but she and I went to Assateague, which is a national seashore. Did any of you remember Misty of Chincoteague? The
Sure.
book? Yeah.
Oh, you
well,
were on the Virginia side? You went down on the Virginia side, or you came
we
up to
did,
the
yeah.
ocean?
So we went through Chincoteague and onto Assateague and painted a couple days ago. It was really
Wow,
great.
cool.
Yeah, really fun. The summertime crowds have gone. There were still plenty of people there. And I'd love to do one of these live, a plein air. I'd love to do a plein air thing with you all.
You see any horses?
Yeah, we saw horses, and we were pretty near the horses, but not focusing on them. So then we got to watch all the people watching the horses. We saw ponies and horses, and we saw excellent egrets and a couple gigantic blue herons. And of course, a lot of seagulls. It was really fun. And then we also went to the Island Creamery, which is one of the best ice cream places I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if any of you come to visit and you like ice cream, we'll go up to the creamery. So there's going to be a fair amount of finish work to do here. And the business with these cranky little spaces, between the things, it's just take your time. And if you smudge, you can go back and fix it. Now, sometimes you're not going to want to fix it. Sometimes the smudges are fine. But just be patient with yourself, and if you need to work from little dots, like say in here, start with a little dot, put a little dot next to it, little dot next to it, like almost like mosaics.
Now, this recording will be on your website, Carrie?
I'm gonna put it on. I never thought about putting it on a website. I'm gonna put it on the Carrie Jacobson Workshop Videos Facebook page. But
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's a good spot for it. And then I think and I don't know how to do that yet, so it's probably not going to be there this afternoon.
Okay.
And
Your bluebirds is up there.
What's that?
The bluebird painting you did is on your Facebook page. Did you put that on, or did somebody else put it on?
Oh, was that a Zoom thing?
Yes. Didn't you do Zoom? Didn't you do the
No.
bluebird?
No,
I
that
don't
was
think I
before we
did.
started the Zoom.
I think I set out to do
okay.
it, and I couldn't figure it out or something. But there is,
okay.
there is one I did. I did a Q&A with Carrie J, and I think I managed to get that on the workshop. videos page. So it's the
Oh,
technology stuff. It's not impossible. It's just,
well, let me get
Yeah.
it finished here.
it takes a little bit of time
That's
for me.
longer.
To carry your video in through Zoom?
Yes, I have I'm a paid up member. I have a subscription, and with your subscription, you can record to the cloud or to your home computer, and then you can put it like wherever you want to.
Okay, my question is it like when we're on Zoom, I've got mine set so that whoever is speaking, that's who I see. So when you record, is it just recording you, or is it recording the faces? Like there were points where you were telling us stuff, but somebody else was making noise, so you're pointing to stuff on your painting, but the camera's on the other person.
I have no idea.
So you'll have to look at it, or we'll
Yeah.
have to look at it and see whether it stays on you or whether it switches to the active speaker.
Yes, and also my guess is that there's a way to control that. And I mean, clearly, you guys want me. You want the lesson.
Right.
Yeah. So that's something for me to figure out. Yeah, for sure.
And
I'm not going to do it on Zoom all the time. I'm really trying to learn for the days when I start doing paying workshops. So you guys are like my guinea pigs. So appreciate your doing this. I know it's easier to do on Facebook.
I attended a paid workshop Saturday on Zoom. I'll
Yeah.
call you, Carrie, about the details. Yeah.
Okay. What was it about?
It was a quilting class.
Really? Oh, cool.
The woman who taught it was in Sarasota, and she had the camera that looked at her, a camera that looked at her desktop,
Right.
and her workspace right in front of her, and also her computer desktop for her slideshow.
Right.
But she had a friend who was her tech person who
Yeah.
handled the switching, and she went onto the chat. So during the class, all of us were muted, and this other friend of hers monitored the chat and asked the questions that came up. And then at the end, we were allowed to speak. And that way, the speaker view wasn't interrupted.
And that okay, that sounds great. That would be great.
Which is why when I signed on, I was muted, because I didn't want to cough and take the camera away from you.
Right. And I can mute you all. I do have that power. I can mute all of you at once.
You can.
In one fell swoop. Yeah. All right. So I got something going on here that I'm going to have to figure out. Oh, I think that was just it. I just needed to round my brown there. And there's a little bit of finish work here, but I'd say I'm 85, 90, I'm 90% close to being done. How about you guys?
Well, I stopped. So
Okay.
when my company came, I've just been
Right.
watching since then.
Yeah. Okay. Questions about this?
Oh, no, it's lovely. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
Very
Do
nice.
you want a little studio tour?
Sure.
Let's see what I've been doing. Okay. If I can do it. Let's see. See if I lose you or what. I don't know why I would. Well, I do have you plugged in. So, all right, here we go. So, oh, you know what? I think it will let me switch the camera. Here we go. Oh, well, isn't that great? So here's our painting. And there's Woody. Woody's the only one who's allowed out here. He's like 9 million years old. All he does is sleep.
Oh.
And then here we go. So I've got, ooh, a bunch of bird paintings, some new. That little Pinky, he's new. And then some of these you all have seen. My resurrection paintings. This is one, I kind of love this one, but I think it's too dark. It's a nocturne. When I've driven through the Midwest, I've seen, you know, a house, farmhouse, and all the only light is one street light. It's not a street light, but like a driveway lamp on the back. So that's what that is. And some of these. This I think is a cool piece. This is a commission. I have a Russian collector. I have 2 Russian collectors actually. I think that came out pretty cool. And then here I got this one back from a gallery. That's not pretty.
That is pretty.
Yeah, I really like that one. And then I want to show you, here's the one from Assateague that I did standing there. Let's get light through it. There we go.
Yeah,
And then
good.
here's the tomato pickers.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And here's one. No, nobody's seen. This is going to my daughter for her, oops, my fingers off it, for her kitchen for their 5th anniversary. I love it. I'm crazy about it. So, all right. Yes, that's it. Sun's out again. That's good. So I'll turn this around. Here I am.
Can you show me your mom and Captain?
Oh, they're in the house. I don't know if I can.
Oh, okay. No, never mind. That's all
Okay,
right.
I'll send you a picture of that picture though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never
That's it.
met Cap. Maybe I don't think I met Captain. Maybe I did. He
I'm not-
seems alive to me.
Yeah.
Bills paid.
Yeah, I have I do not remember when he died, but it was a while ago. I mean, it was, you know, it was before all the black labs. So, but yeah, I'll send you that picture for sure. So,
Okay, thanks.
yeah. All of you, thank you so much for joining me today. And it was really great. It was terrific. Now, do you
Thank you.
prefer this or Facebook, or doesn't it matter?
I prefer Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
I kind of
Okay.
like the interactive part of this.
Yeah, I do too. But it's
It's a lot easier to speak and to interact with you rather than having to just type in a comment.
Right. Exactly.
That's true.
So like, there's good things about each of them. Now there's a thing called Facebook
Live.
meetup meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep trying. So it'll probably be just regular Facebook next week. So.
Well, you don't want to lose all your audience. So if this is the reason you don't have as many people.
Right, and it's easier. It's yeah, and you know, I'm just doing this to do it and to help people and give them some creative outlet. So I want these to be as easy. You know, I want to reach as many people as I can and just make it as easy as I can for people. So loved having y'all here. Bye.
I'm gonna say goodbye.
Bye.
Thank
Me
you.
too. Okay. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thanks,
Bye.
Carrie.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome. Thank you.